Well, with that, let's, of course, now talk about the match that has led to a lot of disappointment, of course, to say the least. Hopes were pinned on India to win the semi-final match and go into the finals of the T20 World Cup. But that, of course, did not happen. England has stormed into the finals. And now the clash is going to be between England and Pakistan. England beat India by 10 wickets. The England-Pakistan showdown is scheduled for Sunday. That will be the final match. But yes, this was a match that was keenly watched with all hopes, of course, that India will make it. But that did not happen. In a way, the jinx continues. First, I'm going to go across to my colleague Karishma, who's there in Australia, updating us with all the information. But Karishma, a disappointment here. India has to humbly accept defeat at this stage. And of course, the stage for the finals is set now.
Well, absolutely, Afrida. Everyone must have seen those Rohit Sharma visuals of breaking down and Rahul Dravid consoling him after a 10-wicket loss versus England. This is the Indian team that is ranked #1 in the world. And, this is the #1 team in the world in T20 rankings. And how can we lose to England by 10 wickets is the question that needs to be answered. Introspection needs to be done at Rohit Sharma's level, at Rahul Dravid's level. And they need to sit together and figure out as to what went wrong today, why KL Rahul is being given so many chances, why the Indian bowling lineup did not fire today when they have been pretty decent in this T20 World Cup. So clearly, all of these questions need to be answered. All of these, introspections need to be done, because what happened today, Afrida, to say the least, was very, very embarrassing for a #1 ranked T20 team in the world. So clearly, a lot of questions that will be asked of this Indian team, and a lot of answers that will have to be given by Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid.
Right, Karishma, obviously, it is one thing to lose, and it's quite another to lose in this manner, which you are saying for a top-ranked team is something that one must introspect about. Thanks very much for joining us. I have joining me here on the program Mr. Bimal Soni, former manager of the Indian cricket team, and Vedam Jayashankar, sports journalist. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Very good evening. My colleague Karishma has, set the ball rolling by saying that it is one thing to lose, but it is quite another to lose in this manner for a team like India. What went wrong, Bimal Soni?
Well, I think pressure got on them. Indian team is talented, but today they played like novices. And the way they bowled, and at the same time, the way they batted, except for one or two people, I think India's performance was much below par. And in cricket, this happens. Sometimes the mindset becomes so terrible that we are not able to perform to our talent. And this has happened with India today. It was one of their off matches, but we cannot pardon them for this, because the whole country was looking for them to reach the finals, and especially play against Pakistan. And at the same time, England played well to their capabilities, and in batting also, they really batted well. So I think it's a good victory for England and a pathetic day for Indian cricket.
A pathetic day indeed. It was supposed to be a very momentous occasion, isn't it? That India will win this match and we will have that mega clash with Pakistan. That did not happen. But what you're saying is interesting, that, it just seems that India had a bad day right from the word go. Vedam Jayashankar, do you think right from the time that, the team lost the toss, you could see as if, the energy and the enthusiasm and the spirit, as if it's not in its optimum in this particular match?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think except for those last five overs that we batted, the team looked flat right through. It just didn't look like it had the energy, or it was competing on the world stage. And I think the brains trust of the team must take a lot of blame for that, because you need to peak at the right time. And it was obvious that we had not, instead of peaking at the right time, we were actually in a very, very low space. And we did nothing different. We were so predictable right from the start. Now, straight away, when you had such square boundaries, which were so short, maybe they could have tried opening with somebody like Pant, who likes to square cut and pull and things like that. So the square boundaries could have actually worked in his favor. Rahul perhaps could have come at number 6. But here what was happening was we were predictable both with the bat and with the ball, and there was nothing new that we could deliver. And somehow each and every move of ours, the English already knew in advance what we were going to do. And this is not how you prepare for a T20 semi-final. There was nothing new. There was no freshness in it, and you looked stale, you looked jaded, and really it came as no surprise that we lost so horrendously.
Tony, do you agree that it started with bad planning and bad lineup, and from there on we simply lost the game even before we actually lost it?
Well, in my opinion, England, prepared in a professional manner. They knew how to bowl. They bowled on the line and what they had planned for each batsman. As far as we are concerned, once we made a score of 160 odd, we had already half given up mentally. And the way England played, they played as professionals. So I think that this is a failure of the management and players as such. And of course, the mental pressure. I again repeat,
yes,
India makes so much of hue and cry for our victory that we put the team under pressure. And today the team has really shown how pressure can work against them. So in my opinion, it's a very bad loss, and India has to now act more professionally. I'm talking of the cricketers and how to play these tense matches.
Yes, sometimes you do crumble under pressure, just that it was very bad timing. This was not the match to crumble under pressure. We have breaking news coming in on what Coach Rahul Dravid has said. Let's play that out. Coach Rahul Dravid on Team India's loss. He says not the right time to talk about future of seniors. We have 2 years of time and we will reflect. So clearly, he's preempting that now there is going to be a lot of talk about some seniors who need to be weeded out, so to speak, whether focus will turn on them. At this stage, of course, what the coach is trying to say is let's not have that conversation at this stage. They have done their contribution. We can have that conversation later. Vedam Jayashankar, what do you think of this response coming from the coach?
In a way, yes, you really cannot take a decision at the spur of the moment, especially when you are so low and so down. So your decision making itself may not correct at this particular point of time because emotions may override actually good sense. So I think in a way Rahul Dravid is right. You need to wait a little bit, wait for the entire emotions to settle down, and then take a hard, cold call. And definitely we need to take a hard, cold call about many of these players and many of the cricketers. We need to take that. How we are going to take, I don't know right now. But it's obvious that some of them are beyond their, I wouldn't say use by date, but I think they have been so thoroughly exposed, maybe because of the IPL and because so many of the foreign players themselves are coming and playing IPL, and they know exactly what X, Y, or Z are capable of. So the way England organized themselves today, it looked like they knew each and every move you would make. And that's the surprising part, because unless you're able to pull a rabbit out of the hat every now and then or come up with some surprise moves, it's very difficult. Here we had somebody like Rohit Sharma as captain, and he was only going through set-piece moves. It's okay to captain an IPL team, but when you captain an Indian team, you need a lot more than that. You need fire, you need imagination, and I'm not sure he had either. Neither did he had imagination, nor did he have the fire. And I think that showed very poorly, particularly in this match, but it could have gone wrong in so many other matches, which we were very lucky to win, I would say. Of course, you had two brilliant batsmen in Surya Kumar Yadav and Virat Kohli, who played out of their skin. But beyond that, I think this Indian team struggled out and out.
Bimal Soni, do you also feel that way, that, while England did a thorough preparation, they did not leave anything to chance, despite the fact that history was in their favor, they did not take this clash lightly, whereas some amount of complacency perhaps set in with Team India that was coming upbeat to face Team England?
Well, I think we were overconfident first. Secondly, we did prepare. Rahul Dravid is meticulous in his preparations, but our preparations were as per our norms. we never thought we could land up in such a problem. And I think this Indian team in next 2 years will need a lot of changes, lot of players have to be changed, and a lot of youngsters are on the way up. So you will see a different Indian team, and a couple of these players will be rested. They may be given a rest to come back in a big way, or they may be given a rest for life. So these things are going to happen now, especially in the bowling department, as well as a couple of batsmen. So let us see how it works out. And as I saw, whether it's Pant or Karthik, they have to make their presence felt. Otherwise, the other youngsters will join in. So I am, this defeat has given us a lesson that we have to be more prepared mentally also, as well as a mixture of youth along with experience. So this is India's bad day today. And not that the team was bad, but they did not click together. So let us see how we prepare the next 2 years for the next World Cup.
Yes, that's a former manager of Team India saying that we need an overhaul. We need the right mix of youth and experience. The current combination is far from perfect, is what he believes. Vedam Jaishankar, quick last word to you. Mr. Jaishankar?
Yeah, I didn't get that question.
No, I just wanted to know, do you also feel that, you know, what we need is to draw lessons from this and do a major overhaul of the current composition of the team?
Yeah, the composition of the team itself, we need to take some time to decide how we are going to go about it. I mean, everybody will say, yes, we need batsmen, we need bowlers, we need all-rounders. But do we have them? And if you really look at it, you need to make the best use of your resources. And sometimes making the best use of your resources means trying to catch the opposition off guard, doing something different. But that's not what we have been doing. Especially in this tournament, I think we've come up with set-piece moves. And set-piece moves will not count at all, especially in a big tournament when there are lots of matches to be played. You'll be found out during the later stages of the tournament, especially the semi-finals, finals, and those kind of places. That's when you need to pull something, do something different, and some of your top players have to step up. And unfortunately, what we have seen, it's easy to blame the bowling, but what has the batting done, except for those last 5 overs that we batted, when we got about 60-odd runs? What did we do till then? We were struggling. And that's not a good impact that you make. If we had taken the English bowling by the scruff of the neck and moved on, it would have made a lot of difference. But when people start playing for their place in the 11 or play like, I wouldn't say like politicians, but if you try to play safe, then it's not really going to help. Because this T20 format itself, you must be able to play like the devil may care. Rohit Sharma talked a good talk right through, but when it came to the crunch, neither he nor his top order batsmen, especially Rahul and he, were able to play fearless cricket. There was more fear than anything else.
Yes,
in
that's a very important point.
6 overs, we got just about 30 runs. And that's not the way to go. If you're going to play fearless cricket, 6 overs, you have to be 60 runs. And he couldn't perform there.
Yes, you know, I take that point, you know, what you're making is that sometimes you may have the best of composition in a team, yet you need that attitude, you need that killer instinct to make it, and especially when you're facing opponents like Team England. Thanks very much, Bimal Soni, Vedam Jaishankar, for joining us with your informed opinion on the subject.